In the midst of a world that never seems to quiet down, where voices compete for attention, and the rush of daily life fills every corner, there lies a subtle but profound wisdom. Humility flourishes not in the noise, but in the gentle embrace of silence and the clear light of simplicity. These two qualities, often overlooked, often misunderstood, are not signs of weakness or lack, but of depth, of presence, and of inner strength. Silence, in its true form, is far more than the absence of sound. It is an active presence, a stillness that invites us to step away from the clamor of opinions and desires and encounter something deeper within ourselves. When we choose silence, we create a space where the ego, so accustomed to making itself known, begins to shrink. It is in these quiet moments that humility can take root, reminding us that we are a part of something vast and mysterious, not the center of all things. Throughout history and across spiritual traditions, silence has been the companion of the humble. The Buddha's enlightenment was not achieved through argument or discourse, but through deep and silent meditation beneath the Bodhi tree. Ramana Maharshi, the sage of Arunachala, often taught through his silent presence alone, dissolving the pride and confusion of seekers more effectively than any spoken words. Jesus himself, portrayed in the Gospels, frequently withdrew to mountains and solitary places to pray, seeking communion with the divine in silence. These examples teach us that humility is not merely a virtue to be admired, but a living reality that emerges when we allow ourselves to be quiet. In silence, the restless mind bends and the hardened heart softens. Our ambitions and anxieties lose their grip, making room for grace, for wisdom, for the gentle touch of humility. Just as silence nurtures humility within, simplicity is its outward expression. Simplicity is not about deprivation or poverty, but about freedom. Freedom from excess, from the constant need to acquire, display, or prove ourselves. To live simply is to recognize what is truly necessary and to let go of what weighs us down. It is a statement of sufficiency, of gratitude for what we have, and a refusal to let our possessions possess us. The humble person knows this well. They wear what is enough, eat what sustains, and speak only what is needed. Their lives are uncluttered, not because they have no access to abundance, but because they understand the value of restraint and the beauty of contentment. Saints across traditions have demonstrated this truth, choosing simple lives not out of compulsion, but from a deep desire for inner freedom. Mahatma Gandhi, for example, famously spun his own cloth and ate plain meals, not as a rejection of comfort, but as an affirmation of strength rooted in simplicity. A life weighed down by excess reflects a mind weighed down by ego. When we clear away what is unnecessary, be it physical objects or mental attachments, we allow humility to shine through. Simplicity becomes a mirror of the soul, reflecting back the gentle light of humility. Consider the story of the king and the monk. The king, proud of his wealth and the opulence of his palace, invites a humble monk to marvel at his throne room filled with jewels and treasures. The monk, however, remains unmoved. Later, when the king visits the monk's hut, a space containing only a mat, a lamp, and a bowl, he is surprised by the lack of possessions. "Where is your furniture?" he asks. The monk responds, "Where is yours?" The king insists that he lives in the palace, to which the monk replies, "I too live here, but only as a traveler." In that moment, the king realizes that his palace is heavy with the weight of ego, while the monk's hut is light with humility. Through silence and simplicity, the monk has found freedom and peace. This lesson, echoed in sacred scriptures across cultures, calls us to reflect. In the Bhagavad Gita, we find the teaching: serenity of mind, gentleness, silence, self-restraint, and purity. These are austerities of the mind. The Bible in 1 Peter affirms the value of a gentle and quiet spirit. The Quran praises those who walk upon the earth gently, as true servants of the Most Merciful. Silence and simplicity then are not optional extras for the humble path, they are its foundation. How can we cultivate these qualities in our own lives? Simple practices can guide us. Begin with a silent minute each day, a time to be fully present, without distractions, focusing only on your breath. Gradually extend this practice, letting silence become a refuge and a teacher. Choose one meal a day to be plain, eaten with gratitude, appreciating the nourishment it provides. Each week, give away one item you do not truly need, letting go of clutter in your physical space as a reflection of uncluttering the mind. Before speaking, pause and ask yourself, will my words heal or will they harm? In prayer or meditation, sit quietly and repeat inwardly, I am yours, O Lord, surrendering your ego to something greater. In such practices, humility is not a lofty ideal, but a living experience. It is the gentle bow of the heart, the quiet flow of the soul. No wealth, no noise, no title can remain in the presence of true humility, only the whisper of something sacred. As you walk through life, remember this prayer. O Lord of silence, teach me to rest in stillness. Strip away the noise of my pride and the clutter of my ego. Let me live simply, speak gently, and listen deeply. May my life become a quiet lamp, burning humbly in your presence. In a world that so often urges us to shout, to accumulate, and to display, may we find the courage to embrace silence and simplicity. In doing so, we not only discover humility, we discover peace, wisdom, and the gentle beauty of a life lived in quiet harmony.